This is one of the privacy fence system brackets. Now you want to center this bracket on your post. You locate your post, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but centered well enough that the bolts will catch where they need to go. Center that on the post, and rather than measuring, the corner of this bracket needs to be roughly an inch below the top of the fence, and rather than measuring an inch, I use a piece of the 1x4 that's going to be used for the cross slats. Lower the bracket until the inside edge of this board is at the top of the fence. And you hold that in place. Hold the bracket up high enough to where the edge of the inside of this board is on the top of the fence. And I use a black felt marking pen because it's easier to see. And at this time, you only have to mark the top bolt. You mark it and set your bracket down and drill a 5/16 hole. And because most fence boards extend above the post, this top bolt is only going to go into the board, not the post. You use a 3/8 by 1 inch lag bolt on the top. It only goes into the top board, not the fence post. You can start it by hand, and you use a 9/16 socket and ratchet. Just snug it down. Just get it snugged. Then you're going to want to level the bracket. And if you don't have a level, the edge of a fence board should be level, and you can measure and go off the edge of the fence board. If you have a level, use your level. And this is just to get a vertical level on the bracket. Once you have the bracket leveled, mark your other 2 holes on center. At this point, because it's anchored on the top bolt, you can just swing the bracket out of the way either side and drill your remaining 2 holes. I set my drill bit depth at 2.5 inches, but you don't have to be exact on because the lag bolts used are self-tapping. And if you're a little bit short or a little long, it won't matter. After your holes are drilled, you want to swing your bracket back into place lined up with the holes that you just drilled. And you're going to install 3/8 by 2.5 inch lag bolts, which will secure the bracket into the post. And you don't want to tighten any of your bolts till they're all started. If you don't have a socket and ratchet available, an open end or box end 9/16 will work just as well. You just snug them up. You don't want to over tighten because you will kind of strip out the wood. So you want to just give them a good snug. You cannot use this on a rotted board. The whole fence system, the posts, the cross supports and all must be good, solid, sturdy wood. Installing it on inferior wood, rotted wood, could cause the fence to fall over or the boards to break. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start installing the first board. And you do want to start from the bottom and work your way up. I have 2 drills, the reason being I have a drill bit in one and a Phillips head screw in the other. It makes it quicker. It's not required. I have 2, so I'm going to use them. The first thing you're going to want to do, these boards go from center to center of each bracket. Now you're going to want to measure and cut your board at the measurement that you took, which in this case is 95 3/4 inches. This can be done with a hand saw, but if you have a power saw, it's quicker. Now this board has been measured and cut to fit center to center on each bracket. And this first board lies right on the top of the fence. That's the reason that this bracket was put an inch below, so that this board can rest on the fence. You butt it up to your last board, and it'll be center on center. At this point, You use an 1/8 inch drill bit and drill on center. And I always install the first bolt, the first screw, which is a 3/4 inch, 1/4 by 3/4 self-tapping screw. I always install it on the first hole so that it doesn't move when I do the second one. And install your screw. Installing the first board, it's going to lie against the fence. Your remaining boards, 1x4s, will lie on these cleats in place, centered exactly where they have to go. You don't have to worry about moving, centering, or clamping. They'll set right on these cleats.